Hello and welcome to Out of My Head. I'm KMO. Collin is in some distant location.
Hi, I'm here. Can you see me?
On the monitor.
Yeah.
Yes. So, if you watch this channel, you know that sometimes I'll talk about, geopolitics or energy issues or technology, AI. But if you really watch and read between the lines, you know that my passion is for the impeachment process going on in Washington, D.C. right now. I'm so impassioned about it that I've had to script out my portions of this conversation lest I get carried away and Collin wouldn't be able to stop me. So, Collin, say something about impeachment.
Are we really pretending these are your words? These are my conversations from Reddit.
No, I'm so passionate about impeachment.
So it started with a comment. It was an article about the articles of impeachment written. So I wrote, just here to say, abuse of power is subjective. Go listen to Turley's testimony. And obstruction of Congress isn't a thing.
To which I say, precisely why Congress's qualifications for impeachment are intentionally vague, and why they are given broad authority to interpret that part of the Constitution how they see fit. You forget, this isn't a court of law. This is a political proceeding, not a legal one.
Fair. Anyways, I replied to that comment. I then later took my reply to this comment and edited it into my original comment. So people would stop saying the same exact thing because they're all parrots. So I say, didn't forget, I am aware the House can impeach for whatever reason they want. It's just these articles of impeachment hold as much water as one saying, he's smelly. Legally, you only need a majority vote in the House to impeach. In reality, if you want anything to come from it, other than a strongly worded letter, you need the support of the American people, which the House Dems do not have. President Trump has been polling around 52% approval rating for the past couple of weeks. It's about 5 points higher than Obama at the same time during his presidency.
I object to your statistics. In fact, not sure where you are getting your poll numbers, but Trump is sitting at about 41 to 42% approval, and has been for a long time. To my knowledge, he's never broken the 50% mark. In fact, his current approval is less than the past 5 presidents at this same time in their presidencies.
And then I did not reply to that guy again, but I did reply to another comment saying, where did you get your poll numbers from? And both of the comments linked me to 538. I believe is the name of the website. I'm not positive. It's 3 numbers.
Yeah, it's 538.
Okay. I don't know much about them, but where did I get my poll? It's gone from Rasmussen. Why did I get it from there? Because they were the only poll I found to be trustworthy during the 2016 election cycle, and by trustworthy I mean accurate. So I'm going to go with the accurate one instead of the ones that make stuff up, or just not do it right. Also, if you go to 538's website, they tell you they congregate polls and then weigh them based on trustworthiness and bias, which is just liberal, intellectual, smart talk for we fudge the numbers to make it the way we want it to be. I had a comment about that, but I don't have it written down, so I'm not quoting it myself. Anyways, you want to go over to read the second comment? Reply to my comment?
No.
Subjective.
We're up to K3.
This is another guy replying to my first comment.
No, this is from the heart.
Oh, it's from KMO, right.
Let's assume, for an instance, that Trump did in fact commit either abuse of power or obstruction of justice, and the impeachment is valid. I don't care if there's a Democrat or a Republican in office. I feel if they break the law enough, they have a valid impeachment against them, that they should be impeached. I don't feel making reasons to protect them based on which party you identify is justifiable.
You know, I don't even read the comment the first time. I just saw I feel.
That's why I stressed.
Anyway, so I said, I agree. I just haven't seen enough evidence in this case to say he committed any crimes. I've watched the hearings. I know most of the information that's available to the public, and most of what I saw was hearsay, presumptions, and people guessing what the president was thinking. It's all circumstantial at best, and most of it wouldn't be permitted in a court of law. At this point, the only thing that would change my mind is if President Zelensky changed his statements. In a criminal trial, the prosecutor needs to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt for me to get behind the removal of a duly elected president with an even higher level of proof. In my opinion, the evidence presented to the public hasn't even come close to hitting the reasonable doubt level.
Don't you tell me to smile, you sexist pig, tool of the patriarchy.
Feminazi. Blah, 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 Trump 2020, my God.
Okay, so
Here's a picture of my AR-15.
that was all super engaging, but what did we just say? What was that about? What was that?
It was impeachment talk, blah, 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 blah. And guess what? And you know what? I'm going to do you a favor, Kim. I'm going to tell you who's not sitting to my left.
Oh, no, I don't even know what I'm looking at over there.
Gonna let you in on a secret. None of this stuff that we commented matters. Because none of this impeachment hearing matters. Because we all know exactly what's going to happen. Whether or not they vote to impeach, which they're going to because they have the majority, it then goes to the Senate, and the Senate may table it instantly or may actually have a trial, which will come back with, hey, guess what? Partisan line vote, he's not removed. And then they cry about it, and nothing changes. It's all a waste of time. That's what all of this means. That we're paying people to sit there and talk about something, trying to remove a president, but they aren't even trying because they know it's not actually going to happen. They're just grandstanding like they're trying.
Do you watch the impeachment hearings? I mean, you're here.
Not 100% of it, but yeah, I tune in when I can and go back and watch. Yeah, I've watched almost all of them. Speaking of which, can I just say, the Dems don't want to argue about the process. They're saying, oh, you're arguing about the process because you can't argue the substance. There's no substance to argue. There's no evidence to argue because there's no evidence. Anyways, it's like the process was weird. I've never been to an impeachment hearing before. I haven't. But the judiciary is the one who investigates and then makes the articles of impeachment, traditionally speaking. But it was the House Intel Committee who did a bunch of depositions in private that hopefully got released to the Judiciary Committee, which I heard did not happen or did not happen in a timely manner. Ranking member Doug Collins, I believe, said something like that. Don't quote me on that. Double check that one yourself, please. So then, instead of doing an investigation, they took a report that is, they call it like the report of facts or something. The findings of fact, but their findings of fact is just the majority voted. We're sending this to the Judiciary Committee. So that, and what?
Usually, when I hear the phrase "the Judiciary Committee," I say, "Alexa, next."
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, and then the Judiciary Committee, Collin, next. No, they then called witnesses, but the witnesses they called were expert witnesses talking about the Constitution, and then the counsel from the majority and minority party of the Intel Committee who did the depositions. It's like, why do you need to ask them about the depositions? See, that's a problem. Why are they taking a secondhand source as their evidence for what they're basing off? Secondhand source of secondhand sources, by the way. Because no one's actually accusing the president of a crime. At least no one who's come forward and said their name and will say, hey, me, I accuse the president of a crime.
So when I work on the comic, I take my computer and I set it up at this table, and I plug in, the pen display. It's the drawing interface. And when I'm there, I have to be there for many hours. But as soon as I get settled into this particular spot, this particular workstation in my apartment, my cat comes and sits right next to me and meows at me. I can be anywhere else in the apartment and she is quiescent. But if I'm actually settling in to do some work, she comes and bothers me.
And that's all he's heard this entire time.
Oh, I heard something about expert witnesses, guys coming to talk about the Constitution. I heard about that. I was going to tune in, but I had to brush the cat that day, so I missed out.
So what you're saying is the only reason I care about any of this, unlike 99% of the American people, is because I have nothing to do with my life.
I don't know what itch
that would be
this
an accurate
scratches for you.
statement. That would be an accurate statement. Which brings me to my next point. I read a comment about someone saying that a radio host said something along the lines of, hey, look at me, I'm a Democrat with three-party hearsay. Anyways, so someone on the radio, according to a Redditor, said something along the lines of, all you need to know about impeachment is no one understands what's going on and no one cares.
All right. I think we've given that very important topic the due consideration that it deserves.
Which is none.
All right, I think we're done.
It's for the partisan. All right, like, comment, subscribe.
Please.
No.